It's time for match day 8 in the Champions League. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the European Football All-Time channel. And today, welcome to my Game Week 8 Champions League predictions. We have made it to the last day of the Champions League phase. It's going to be an absolute bonkers night in the Champions League. Teams fighting it out to get into the top 8. Teams fighting it out to get into the playoffs. The table's going to be twisting and turning every second, every goal that goes in. But yeah, make sure to smash a like, subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay then, and the first game of match day 8 in the Champions League is from the Johan Cruyff Arena as Ajax take on Olympiacos. Now, Ajax coming into this after a 2-1 victory against Villarreal last week. As for Olympiacos, it was a 2-0 win for them against Bayer Leverkusen. And I mean, looking at the Champions League table, both of these teams fighting to get into the playoffs. Ajax have pretty, well, I mean, they've got a very slim chance, really. I mean, if they do win, they will go on to 9 points, but then they would need the teams above them to drop a lot of points. Olympiacos definitely in a better position than Ajax are. They're currently sat in 24th in the final playoff place. They just need a win, really, Olympiacos, and they should be into the Champions League playoffs. I mean, Ajax, you know, it's been a bit of a disappointing campaign for them in the Champions League. I mean, they still got a chance to get into the playoffs, but it's quite unlikely, really, that we will see Ajax in the Champions League knockout stages. Olympiacos probably are favourites coming into this. And Ayub Kabi, I think, is back for them after, of course, he was out with Morocco at AFCON. So that'll be a big boost for them. But I think Olympiacos will win, to be honest. I mean, Ajax might have a chance because it is at the Johan Cruyff Arena, but I'm going to go with an away win. Ajax 1, Olympiacos 2. And the next game is Arsenal versus Kairat Almaty at the Emirates Stadium. Kairat Almaty losing 4-1 last week against Club Brugge. Arsenal, on the other hand, winning 3-1 against Inter. I mean, this game means absolutely nothing for either team. Arsenal are going to finish first. They're going to top the league phase. Kairat Almaty, they're bottom. I mean, the only thing they're kind of playing for, you could say, Kairat, is to not finish last in the Champions League. But it probably is going to happen. I mean, you imagine as well that Arsenal are probably going to put out a bit of a B team. You know, this game doesn't really mean anything for them. I mean, for Kairat, I mean, they're just probably going to enjoy the occasion. You know, it's a big day out away at a big European team. So, yeah, Arsenal are going to win. And we'll crack on with it and go 3-0 Arsenal. Okay, then we move on to Athletic Bilbao versus Sporting Lisbon at the San Mamés. Sporting, on the other hand, what a win last week. 2-1 against Paris Saint-Germain. Massive win for them. Puts them in a good position, really, Sporting, to actually get into the top 8. Athletic Bilbao, on the other hand, they won, actually, 3-2 against Atalanta. I mean, Athletic Bilbao, they're currently in 23rd. I mean, a win for them should be enough to get into the... I mean, maybe a point could be enough as well for Bilbao, potentially. Sporting, it's a bit more complicated for them. They need to win. They need other teams like Man City, Barcelona and Chelsea and PSG, Newcastle to drop points for them to have a chance. But Sporting, I think they will get the job done. Bilbao haven't really been too great at home in the Champions League this season. So I'm putting on Sporting. They'll be feeling confident after beating the European champions last week. So I think Sporting will win by 3-0. And the next game, we are staying in Spain as Atletico Madrid take on Bodo Glimt at the Wanda Metropolitano. Of course, Bodo Glimt, what a win for them. 3-1 against Manchester City last week. Atleti, their last game was a 1-1 draw against Galatasaray. I actually watched both of these two teams last week. And I want to start with Bodo Glimt, by the way, because I thought they were absolutely unbelievable against Manchester City. Every time Bodo went forward, it just looked like they were going to score. If they can play like that away from home at this against Atletico, then they've got a good chance. But overall, this won't be easy for Bodo Glimt. Atletico, we all know that they are very defensive. They're a tough team to break down. But to be fair, last week at Galatasaray, they were more attacking, I'd say. And They probably might need to do the same again, Atletico Madrid, sorry, if they want to get into the top 8. But it won't be easy. You know, both teams need a win. Atleti need a win to get into the top 8. Bodo need to win to get into the playoffs. But I'm going to back Atletico. You know, Bodo have struggled on the road this year in the Champions League. So my prediction is Atletico Madrid 2, Bodo Glimt 1. And we are staying in Spain again because we are talking about Barcelona taking on FC at Copenhagen at the Camp Nou. Barca, their last game was a 4-2 win at Slavia Prague. Copenhagen, their last game was a 1-1 draw against Napoli. Just like the Atletico game, Barca looking and fighting to get into the playoffs. Into the top 8, sorry. Copenhagen are looking to get into the playoffs, I should say. But I mean, Copenhagen, they need a win, really, and they need probably Napoli and Olympiacos and maybe Bilbao to drop points. Barca, on the other hand, probably just need Chelsea, really. Well, if they win, which I think they will, and Chelsea drop points against Napoli, then Barca will probably move into the top 8. But I mean, just depend on the other teams as well, and, you know, goal difference and stuff. But Barcelona, I think they will get the job done. They're at home. Copenhagen, I mean, they might get maybe a goal or two because of the high line Barcelona like to play. But Barca, I think they'll win. No Pedri as well for Barca, but it'll be no problem. My prediction, Barcelona 3, Copenhagen 1. And we move to Germany, where we are talking about Bayer Leverkusen taking on Villarreal. Of course, Villarreal, like I said earlier, losing 2-1 to Ajax. Leverkusen losing as well last week against Olympiacos. Villarreal have got nothing to play for. Leverkusen, they are currently in 20th. A point for them, really. It should be enough, really, for Leverkusen to get into the playoffs. I mean, they should win, Leverkusen, really. They're at home against a team that's got nothing to play for. So I'm going to get on with it and go 2-0 Bayer Leverkusen. Okay, then we head to Lisbon at the Estadio de Luz, where it is Benfica against Real Madrid. Jose Mourinho, he did manage Real Madrid, didn't he? That sounds like a stupid question. I think he did. But it's Benfica, Real Madrid. Should be a good game, this. Real Madrid just need a point, really, to confirm a top 8 finish. But Benfica, on the other hand, they need to win. They really need to win this game. And with Benfica being at home and the pressure they have, maybe they could win this game. And if Benfica win, that might mean Real Madrid could slip out of the top 8, maybe. But Real Madrid, I did watch them on the weekend against Villarreal. They looked all right. I did watch the highlights of the Monaco game as well, where they did look really strong. I mean, you never know, really. Benfica could cause an upset, maybe. But, you know, it is Real Madrid at the end of the day. And they seem to be going in the right direction under Alvaro Arbeloa. So I'm going to go 2-1 to Real Madrid. The next game should be an interesting one. Two good teams facing off as Borussia Dortmund take on Inter Milan at Signal Iduna Park. Now, Dortmund got absolutely battered by the mighty Spurs last week 2-0. Inter Milan losing as well against another team from North London in Arsenal. Of course, both of these teams are fighting it out to get into the top 8. Dortmund currently sat in 16th, Inter in 14th. Both teams need other results to go in their favour. So either of these teams really have a chance of getting into the top 8. I found this one quite difficult to predict because, I mean, Dortmund were quite bad against us last week. But at home, you know, I mean, it is at home, so Dortmund will probably be favourites. But I have been impressed with Inter recently. You know, they've been very good. I mean, they're starting to kind of run away with the Serie A title at the moment. I think they're 5 points clear of AC and Milan in second. But I'm impressed about Inter. I did watch them against Pisa and they looked very good. I think Inter won 6-2 against Pisa. But yeah, my prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 to Inter Milan. And the next game is Club Brugge versus Marseille at the Yampino Stadion. Of course, Marseille losing last week 3-0 against Liverpool. A pretty disappointing performance from Marseille, in my opinion. I don't think they were great at all. Club Brugge, on the other hand, they obviously beat Kairat Almaty 4-1. I mean, looking at the table, Bruges still need to get a win to get into the playoffs. They need a couple other results to go in their favour. Marseille, a point really should be enough for them to finish in the top 8. I have a feeling this could have a couple goals in it. So I'm going to go Club Brugge 2, Marseille 2. And the next game is Eintracht Frankfurt versus the mighty Tottenham Hotspur at Deutsche Bank Park. Of course, we did actually play Frankfurt away last year. We won 1-0. Dominic Solanke penalty, sending us into the semi-finals of the Europa League. And of course, we all know what happened from there. We went on to win it. But yeah, like I said, Spurs, I mean, we're in a decent position in the Champions League. Currently in 5th. A win, we're in the top 8. A point as well could be enough, but it does depend on other results. I mean, the game on the weekend against Burnley was quite bad, but we did play very well against Dortmund last week. Frankfurt, I mean, well, luckily with us, Frankfurt have got nothing to play for, really. You know, they're 33rd on 4 points, so they're just playing for pride, really, Frankfurt. But Frankfurt haven't won in a while, so fingers crossed Dr. Tottenham doesn't turn up. But I think Spurs will win. You know, we seem to be good in Europe anyway, so my prediction, 3-1 to the mighty Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to another English team, and that is fucking Liverpool against Karabag at Anfield. Liverpool currently sat in 4th. Just need a point, really, Liverpool, to get into the top 8. Karabag also have a chance to get into the top 8, but they need a bit of a miracle, really. So it will most likely be playoffs for Karabag. But fair play to Karabag. They've probably been the underdogs in the Champions League this year. You know, they've surprised a lot of people, to be honest. But Liverpool, I mean, I know a lot of fans have been a bit 50-50 with Arne Slot. I mean, some of them want him to go, some of them want him to stay. I don't know, really. Liverpool fans, should Slot go? Let me know in the comments. But I think Liverpool will win this one, really. I mean, if Liverpool lose, then they could get knocked out. They could drop out, really, of the top 8, I should say. But I think Liverpool will be fine. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Liverpool. I'm going to talk about another English club, because this time it is Manchester City we are talking about, as they take on Galatasaray at the Etihad Stadium. This should be a very good game of football. I mean, City are the only English club not in the top 8. They need to win this game, Manchester City, and they need other results to go in their favour. Galatasaray as well are also fighting to get into the top 8. I mean, they need to win like 6-0 really to have any chance. Well, I mean, not necessarily, but you get what I mean. They need to win, really, and they need other results to go in their favour. But City got a needed win, really, against Wolves after 2 embarrassing results against Bodo Glimt and Manchester United. Galatasaray, they looked alright, to be fair, against Atleti, but I still think defensively City do look a bit sloppy. Galatasaray do have threat going forward with Barış Yilmaz, Leroy Sané, Victor Osimhen, and I'm going to go with a bold score. I mean, is it bold? I don't know, let me know in the comments. But I've gone 2-1 Galatasaray. I have a feeling that Gala are going to win, and there's going to be back-to-back years in the playoffs for Manchester City. Manchester City 1, Galatasaray 2. And we move on to AS Monaco versus Juventus at the Stade Louis II. Juve also, they've got a chance, Juventus, of getting into the playoffs, into the top 8, sorry. But it most likely will probably be the playoffs for them. Monaco, they're currently down in 21st. The points for them might be enough. I mean, they might need a win, Monaco, depending on how the teams around them get on. But I think Juve will win quite comfortably, really. I think this man... Let me try to do a celebration quick. I can't do it. I think Yildiz will score and Juve will win 3-0. How do I even do it? How do you do it again? Oh, there we go. This man's going to score. Kenan Yildiz. But yeah, anyway, let's move on to Paphos versus Slavia Prague. Paphos have actually got a chance of getting into the playoffs. So imagine Paphos actually do it. Fair play to them. But they are playing a Slavia Prague team that aren't playing for nothing. So they've got a chance, Paphos. But they probably won't make it. But they're going to give it a go. And I think they'll win. They're at home. They're decent at home. Slavia Prague are pretty crap away as well in the Champions League. I don't think have they even won a game. I don't think they have away from home in the Champions League, Slavia Prague. So Paphos are going to win 2-1. Okay, let's move on to a brilliant game this should be. It's a must-win. It's a winner-take-all. PSG versus Newcastle at the Parc des Princes. It is 6th versus 7th. No, we are not hitting 6-7 jokes. Because it's 2026. And the 6-7 is banned. But this is going to be a big test for Newcastle. Newcastle, if they want to get into the top end, they've got to win. It has to be a win for Newcastle. But it's not going to be easy. PSG are a very good team. Even though in the Champions League this year, they haven't been great. And plus as well, like I said earlier, Sporting Lisbon beat them last week. But to be fair, Sporting were at home. I mean, if PSG Sporting was at the Parc des Princes, maybe PSG might have won. But I think PSG will prove too strong for Newcastle. Plus as well, Newcastle away from home this year have been pretty bad. So my prediction, PSG 3, Newcastle 1. I think Newcastle might get a goal. Maybe from, like, I don't know, Gordon or someone, or maybe maybe not Gordon actually, because he hasn't scored from open play in like over a year. I don't know, maybe Visser or I don't know, Tonali. But anyway, let's move on to PSV versus Bayern Munich. Bayern, nothing to play for really. They're in the top 8. I mean, they could finish first, but they need to win by a lot of goals, and they need Kairat Almaty to score a lot of goals. But Bayern, you assume, will probably put a weakened team up. PSV, though, they need to win, really. They're currently, where are they? They're currently 22nd at the moment. So if they do lose this game, PSV are probably at risk of getting knocked out. A point might be enough. Depends, really. I think they will get a point, though, because I do feel Bayern Munich will put out a bit of a B team. So, and plus as well, PSV at home, and PSV against the big teams at home seem to be good. So, my prediction, PSV 2, Bayern 2. And we move on to another cracking game between Napoli and Chelsea at the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. This should be a very good game. Napoli, I mean, really, they are the big team that are fighting to stay in the competition, really. I mean, everyone else, you know, you probably expect to be down there. But Napoli, I mean, bloody hell. What's happened to them in the Champions League? I mean, Napoli, I mean, to be fair, it's Conte really for Napoli. Conte just has a shit record in Europe. I don't know why, but he just does. But Chelsea at home, Napoli might have a chance. Chelsea have been okay under Rossini. I mean, I did watch them against Palace on the weekend, and they looked alright, to be fair. But Chelsea, it's going to be tough. It's away from home as well, which won't be easy. Chelsea, I mean, they are in pole position at the moment because they are currently sat in 8th at the moment. So they're in pole position. Like, or are they? I don't know. But I'm going to go with a draw for this one. Chelsea, they'll probably dominate the whole game. But Napoli, and most likely Scott McTominay will save them. Or someone will pop up and save them and keep them in the game. So my prediction is Napoli 2, Chelsea 2. And the final game of this game week is Union Saint-Gilloise versus Atalanta. Atalanta with a chance to get into the top 8. Union Saint-Gilloise do have a chance to get into the playoffs, but it's a pretty slim chance, really. Atalanta, I think they'll win this one, really. And because I don't think Union Saint-Gilloise have actually won a home game this year in the Champions League. I mean, plus as well, they haven't actually technically been playing at home. I think their Champions League home games have actually been played at Anderlecht Stadium because the actual stadium Saint-Gilloise play at is too small or something, or it doesn't fit UEFA regulations or something. But for me, like I said, Atalanta will win, so it's going to be 2-0 to the Italians. Anyway, that is the end of the video, so thank you for watching. Smash a like, subscribe, and yeah, enjoy match day 8 of the Champions League because it's going to be absolutely bonkers. Goodbye.